Hey dudes and dudettes, Mr. Theorist here, and welcome to a 7-part series I'm about to be doing called Mr. Theorist Reviews. I'm doing this little series because I've got a theory on the go at the moment, but it's not 100% there yet, and I want to get some content out to you guys. And also, because the movies I'm going to be reviewing, there's another one coming out. Well, kind of been waiting a while for this. Hoping they're going to be doing another. A bit iffy. I've seen the trailer of it. And that is Jigsaw. Or the film saga itself, which is the Saw films. I know there's some of you out there that are going to be like, really? But trust me, Saw films are good. Maybe not like Cloud Atlas, Matrix, fantastic action movie good, but as far as horror movies go, I think they're fairly decent. At the end of these seven videos, I will be doing a Rambo reaction. Hopefully, last time I planned a Rambo reaction, didn't manage to get it done, but very much hopefully plans have been spoken about, and hopefully a Rambo reaction for Jigsaw will be out. If not, I might just do another review video. But I prefer to do the Rambo reactions because I think me and the other guy I do it with, we feed off each other quite well when doing it. So, I'm just going to jump straight in. We're going to do Saw 1 in this video, and then in the next 6 we're going to be doing Saw 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 7? Ooh, I'm not a fan of 7 that much. As much as I love this saga. Ooh, 7. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So what am I going to be doing in these videos? Well, I'm going to try and do as best of a review as I can, which is I'll give you a overall summary of the plot, tell you some of the things I really like about the movie and some things I don't like so much, and then give it a rating system. Kind of how Rambo reactions go, but it's just me with my opinion. Haven't got the other guy with his opinion. His loss. It's always fun to do them though. So yeah, let's do it. So, you probably, if you haven't seen the Saws, you only know the kind of the basic information about it. There is a guy who puts people in traps and they die. That's kind of the idea. Saw has been put into the same category as the Hostel movies, which is the Hostel movies are people get kidnapped in a foreign country and then used as like meat bags essentially so people can live out their desires of murdering people or eating them or whatever if they pay the good enough price to the company that's kidnapped these tourists. That's the whole plot of the Hostel films 1 and 2 and 3. I think 3's is slightly different, but pretty much that's the thing, is company kidnaps people, then people pay to murder them. That's it. But with Saw, yes, it's about a guy who kidnaps people and puts them into traps, which they can survive. Remember that. Saw allows people to survive his traps. There is also the progression of the whole backstory of Jigsaw and why he's become who he is, and the people who are connected to Saw, why they are involved in what they're in Saw's traps, or why he has chosen the specific victims. And then you have the detectives and their character stories that happen in each film. There's a lot more going on in it, and for the first 6 movies, does a fantastic job. But the first Saw, right. The plot is 2 people. They wake up in a room. Neither of them know how the hell they got there. As the movie goes along, they begin to remember how they got there. In the room with them is a corpse holding a tape recorder, a tape player, and a gun. There's blood all over the corpse. And they find little tapes in their pocket. Through a bit of working out, they manage to get hold of the tape player. They each get their tapes played. There is, the 2 characters are Adam and Gordon. Adam woke up in a bathtub, and his tape basically just says, you're just going to have to survive for the rest of the time that you're in here. Gordon's tape tells him, see Adam across from you, kill him, or your family dies. So the film goes along, they and ah about it. Gordon's a doctor, so he doesn't really feel like taking a life. Adam's obviously hiding stuff. You then find out that Adam's actually a private detective and he was hired by a cop to investigate Gordon because this cop is crazy and thinks that Gordon is Jigsaw. They both figure out that Jigsaw, the killer, is the one that put them in the room because they find saws. Saw gives them saws. It was a one-off film at the time. They weren't thinking too much. And they figure out that, yeah, these saws aren't to cut through the chains that are holding us in place. They're to cut through our feet. And then Adam's like, well, you seem to know a lot. And he's like, yeah, well, the cops, they got kind of obsessed with the fact that I could be Jigsaw. And then he's like, and then Adam explains his backstory. And the whole movie is pretty much these two talking it out. But we also get flashes of Gordon's family being held by who we think is Jigsaw. But as the movie plays out, it turns out that it's not Jigsaw. Now, I am talking spoilers. I will make sure there is warning to begin this video, because the ending is the reason that the Saw film really piqued my interest at the time. The movie goes along. Gordon eventually gets a bullet that is found with a mobile phone he gets contacted with. He manages to get hold of the gun the corpse is holding, puts the bullet in, and shoots Adam and tells a hidden camera they find, look, I killed Adam, let me go, let me see my family. Nothing happens. So he cuts through his foot using the saw and crawls away to try and get some help. You find out he didn't actually shoot Adam dead, he only shot him in the shoulder. Adam is screaming Gordon's name, and at the last second, the corpse gets up, wipes the blood off his head, and it's Jigsaw. And you're just like, what? And all the way through you see flashes, and you see that Gordon actually is treating Jigsaw in a hospital. He didn't know who he was, and that's how Jigsaw is connected to Gordon. And yeah, and then the film ends, and it's like, what? Now at the time they were doing this as just a one-off film, but then it manages to spawn sequels. But at the time that was like, what? What the hell? It's just whoa. And that's one of the best things about the first Saw film, is that ending. That ending, always, if you watch the Saw films, that ending will stick with you forever. And just the idea that there's this killer who, he's alright with you surviving. If you manage to complete his trap, you manage to get out, yes. Well, I say trap. The idea actually is that they're games. For at least the first two films, they are games you play. I'll explain more as we go further into the other films in later videos, why there is a distinction, but there is. And if you manage to complete his games, you can walk away. You might lose an arm, lose a leg, be sliced to bits, but there is the chance that you can walk away alive from it. And he feels that when you complete his game, then you have gained a piece of yourself. Anyone that doesn't survive, he carves a piece out of them, a jigsaw puzzle piece, because he sees that as them missing an element of them, of the human element, their the survival instinct. But if you survive his games, you have the survival instinct. You are allowed to live. And that's a cool thing. That's one of the cool things I really like it. Is that Jigsaw isn't about just murdering people straight up. No, he gives you the chance. He wants you to prove yourself. If you are willing, if you are allowed to be alive. Now, there are some elements of this. Some of the acting is a bit you feel that maybe one or two of the actors don't take their part too seriously. The director of the first Saw film actually plays the character of Adam as well, and you feel a bit like, he ain't great. You should probably stick to directing more. He does a little better in other films that we've seen him in. He's in Insidious 1 and 2 as well. Go check those films out. They're quite good films. So yeah, there's some not great moments in it, but it's a very good film. And if you were to not think that this was a standalone and it was a set up to a whole universe of films, not universe, because universe means a big thing these days, isn't it? A whole saga of movies, then yeah, it's a great way to kick it off. So I do recommend, guys, go see Saw. And if you enjoy it, see the others, at least up to 6. If you want to see the completion of the whole story, watch 7 as well. And do what I do, watch Jigsaw. Either if you get a chance to mass watch them before Halloween, or if you get a chance afterwards, go watch them. Now, rating, I will probably give the first Saw solid 7 out of 10. It's got a lot of ups. It's got 1 or 2 downs to it. It's not a perfect movie. I don't think any real horror movie should ever really get a 10 if you're judging them as movies as a whole. But as a horror movie, I think it's pretty decent. It's entertaining. It's fun. Yes, it's gory, but it's an 18. If you're watching an 18 and you're shocked by the amount of blood and gore that's in it, don't watch an 18. Simple as that. Anyway, guys, that is my first review of Saw 1. Next video will be Saw 2. If my theory is ready on time, I will upload a theory as well. But these will tie us in till Halloween, and then, as I say, there will be a ramble reaction of Jigsaw on or just after Halloween once I've seen it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, please hit that like button. Tell me what you think, whether you enjoy these kind of videos, if you're looking forward to the second episode. Comment below. As always, guys, if you would, please subscribe or tell your friends to subscribe. It really helps get this channel noticed and gets those views up, which really is encouraging for someone who is doing this for a hobby at the moment and trying to find time. It's one of the reasons I've not managed to get these videos out, is trying to have the time at the moment to get a video out. But anyway, until next video, guys, I will catch you later. Bye!